Are your home automation notifications kind of old school? That's nice, helpful, but it's 2026. We can do better than that.
Pardon the interruption, but it would appear that there is a water leak somewhere within the home. You may want to go and investigate.
Let's use AI to make home automation notifications a lot more fun. So that's Bernard. He's our AI butler. He kind of keeps an eye on things around here. So now I don't have to worry about family members saying, well, I didn't see that alert because I was watching Bridgerton on Netflix. Well, now Bernard's going to interrupt you. There's a lot of different ways you can go and have alerts for home automation conditions. You can have messages on phones, you could turn a light on, you could turn a light a certain color, but this is just kind of fun. And thanks to AI, it's actually very easy and not terribly expensive to get set up. So let's go ahead and dig into it and I'll show you exactly how to program this into your home automation. Okay, so to accomplish this, we're going to break it down into 3 core tasks. Number 1, we need to go to an AI engine and render our character, our butler, or whatever you would want to call that. There's a lot of tools for doing this, and you can go and kind of describe whatever you want. Once we have an image that we like, then what we need to do is put that in a different AI engine and create video clips for standard conditions. A water leak sensor, a door's been left open, something along those lines. So these are going to be standard messages that can be the same every single time. We'll render the video clips for those, save them off, and then we need to build an automation in Home Assistant so that we can go through and just off those trigger conditions, start that media playing on a screen somewhere in our homes. So let's go and look at each part. Okay, so for the AI character generation, I'm not gonna try to claim to be any kind of AI expert here. There's a lot, this stuff is moving so fast. By the time I publish this video, it'll probably be all out of date in terms of what's the best engine for this. But the one that I've been using recently is called Hilo. That's just the one that I found that works for me pretty well. There's a lot of these out there. You might have one that you like a little bit better. This is just the one that I landed on. I'll include a link down below. I'm not getting any commissions on this, but you may need to go and buy some credits to go and do this. There might be enough that you could do with the free tier, maybe for creating images, but making these full videos, you might need to go and buy a little bit of credit there. It's usually not terribly expensive. And so once we're in here, we need to go and create a character. And then we can also, in this platform, go and actually create those video clips as well. So let's go ahead. And you can kind of see I've got another sort of rendition I've been working on here. But what we're wanting to do is just basically create some sort of character here. So the prompt that I used for this is a dramatic Victorian era butler standing centered and facing the camera. So we're gonna change this up a little bit. The engine that I use to render this is called Nano Pro. This is one of the more recent image rendering engines that's out there on the internet. I find it does a very, very good job in terms of what you're trying to explain to it. So like I said, there might be others that you could use for this. If those work for you, that's great. But this one really, really works well for me. So what we do is we create the image initially in Nano Pro in Hilo. And then we're gonna go and then we're gonna animate that. And we animate that with this platform noted here, Veo 3.1. Veo does a really, really good job. It makes about 8-second video clips. You can't do anything longer than that with it without sort of stitching them together. That's a whole different thing. But for these types of alerts, 8 seconds is probably more than enough. But all you have to do is you just have to sort of describe what you want this person to do. And so for this particular character, I said, make them an overly dramatic person in delivering these sort of routine, mundane types of alerts. And see here, sir, madam, I regret to inform you the garage door remains open. So if I hover.
Madam, I regret to inform you that the garage door remains open. Sir.
And so that's pretty cool. And interestingly, Veo put some background, some like tense music in there. I didn't prompt that. All these prompts I'm using, I'm gonna put down in the description below, so be sure to go and check those if you wanna go and use a little jump start there for that. But this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna try and take this character, we're gonna try to change his setting and his scenery maybe a little bit, so you can see that I'm doing this as a real live version. Then we're gonna go play it on the TV again after the water leak sensor falls in the water glass. So let's go ahead and let's take our prompt from before that gave us these characters, and I put it over here in image generation, the image section here. And I'm just going to go ahead and paste that in. There's a lot of detail on this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change this around a little bit here. Okay, so this is how I've redone this character. I went ahead, I just changed this line in here. The previous line said standing in a Victorian manner, you know, soft lighting, things along those lines. And to really, really juxtapose this character, I'm going to put them on a beach on a sunny day. And so all I've really changed is this line here on what the background context for that was. Style, ultra photorealistic, these are all sort of AI image generating types of tasks. And so I'm also going to go and I'm going to ask it for a quantity of 4 because I want it to do a couple of takes on that. This will take 24 credits within this particular platform, and then I'll just go ahead and trigger the render here. Okay, these renders are starting to come in now, and this is just spectacular. This is just so much fun. So we can see the first one has come in here, and we have our same character, and now he's standing on the beach. And so we're going to be able to go and animate that and deliver that same sort of dramatic line about the garage door has been left open. Let's see how the other ones come in. Okay, so we got all 4 of our videos. Now, interestingly, the character in the upper left frame here looks basically similar and identical to some of these renderings here. Now, this is just an AI topic. I didn't do anything to try to get that similar character, just the prompt was the same, and it came up with someone who looks similar. But the thing that you want to think about as you're using these is you want to create the same person and use that for each video clip. Or you could create different characters for different types of scenarios if you wanted to, but consistency of characters between different still images and scenes and stuff like that, that's a whole separate YouTube video, and it's outside my expertise. So the upper right character has a mustache. The lower left, lower right ones look a little bit different, but very similar to the first one. But honestly, I just really like the first one here. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save it without the watermark. You have to pay for that. And now I've saved this, and my butler that we use in our home here is Bernard. I'm gonna call this person Reginald. So we're gonna take Reginald here now, we're gonna grab that file, and we're gonna go and we're gonna create a video for him. And so what we're gonna do is go into the video section here, and then we wanna go to subject reference. And then we wanna make sure that the engine at the bottom is VO 3.1. And this is something that you can see the token count down here. That's gonna cost a little bit for us on that. But I'm gonna go and grab the reference image that we just downloaded. Okay, so now you can see we have Reginald here in the view on this. So let me go ahead and I'm just gonna grab the prompt I used before when Reginald
Madam,
delivered his dramatic
I regret
line,
to inform you
the wide eyes
that the
and
garage
everything.
door remains.
And we're gonna go and basically say the same thing here and just double check, make sure there's no Victorian manor type of clues in here. Nope. So what we're doing here is basically describing their style. This is how we got a little bit over the top on that. So you can do all sorts of things with this. But we're gonna go ahead, and here you could render a couple of different copies, usually because the token count is so high for this. I usually do these one at a time, and it does a pretty good job on that. So let's go ahead and render this and see how it turns out.
1 minute later.
Okay, this rendered pretty quickly. It actually took about 30 seconds. It's the weekend right now. Maybe the engines aren't getting as much use, but let's go ahead, and you'll notice here from the difference of the image where the character had their hand in front of them, the VO engine has effectively removed that, and now but they're just standing there. So these are the things that the AIs take a little bit of liberty with. It's not necessarily easy to control these things sometimes, but let's go ahead and listen to how this one sounds.
Sir, Madam, I regret to inform you that the garage door remains open. Sir, Madam, I regret to inform you that the garage door remains open.
So that's pretty good. So we're gonna
Sir.
go ahead and download here without watermark. And now we have our video file. So I'm gonna rename this Reginald garage door open, and then we can go and start to build our trigger conditions. And this is just hysterical. And this is what's really amazing with VO is it will put background sounds into things automatically based on what it sees the scene is. So if you listen here, you'll hear the ocean in the background as opposed to the previous video rendering for this, which had that sort of dramatic, tense music.
I regret to inform you that the garage door remains open. Sir, madam.
So this is what's really fun with this. I'm gonna render one more of these for the water leak sensor because that's the demo I want to create here and use the water leak sensor upstairs in front of our TV so that you can see everything come together there. So I'm going to do one more of these for that particular condition, but there could be other things that you would want to go and have these sort of standard alerts for. So the recommendation would be to basically kind of render all of these at once while the AI is kind of applying the same voice and doing the same things for you. So think through all your use cases, create all the video files for it, and then you can go and work on the automations. Okay, so here's my clip for Bernard, and basically I'm just grabbing this sentence out of here, but you can hear him deliver it the same way he just did on my TV.
Interruption, but it would appear that there is a water leak somewhere within the home.
Okay, so that's Bernard's line. Let's go ahead and make Reginald say the same thing. So I'm gonna change this line here. Okay, and so now I've copied the exact same text that I had Bernard saying, and now I'm gonna ask Reginald to say it. The same reference image is in here. I'm in the subject reference pane of the video creation within Hilo. Credits about 120 to go and do this with the VO 3.1 engine. So let's go ahead and render this.
1 minute later.
Okay, we've got our second clip for Reginald, basically the same line that Bernard had delivered about a water leak somewhere within the home, and so let's take a listen to Reginald here.
Pardon the interruption. It would appear that there is a water leak somewhere within the home. You may want to go and investigate. Pardon the interruption.
It's not bad. I like Bernard better. That's the one we're going to use in our house overall, but we'll go ahead now and we'll get this set up so we can do the exact same routine on our main TV. So I'm going to download this file without the watermark, and then I'm going to need to go and put this file up on my Home Assistant system and then configure the alerts. Okay, so now I have my two video files. I have one alert for a door left open condition, and I have another alert for the water leak. So the water leak's easier to demonstrate, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go and modify my automation that was playing Bernard on our TV, and I'm gonna swap in the file for Reginald. So let me show you how that's all set up. So first off, once you have your video files, you need to put them into a media folder in Home Assistant. So when you're in the Home Assistant system, you can go to your media section, go to My Media, go to your temporary directory, and then click Manage up here, and then you want to go and add media in here. I'm going to go ahead and pick my two files for Reginald and add those. And now I have those options available in terms of how we go and play these alerts. So I'm going to go back to my automations now. So you go to Settings and then Automations, and we're going to go and look through this walkthrough. So this is the automation that fired off earlier. We have the water leak sensor detecting water, and then we have this media clip playing Bernard water leak. And I have it on two TVs. I have it in our main family room, and I have it on upstairs TV as well. So that's the reason for the two lines here. But you want your action to be media player, play media, and then you can just go and select what that media would be. So now I'm going to change this to Reginald, and then just save this. And now what we should be getting is we should be getting the alert on our primary TV from Reginald, the character we just created. So let's go test that.
Pardon the interruption. It would appear that there is a water leak somewhere within the home. You may want to go and investigate.
The possibilities of these types of AI-generated alerts in Home Assistant are just limitless. You can create any character, you can give them whatever lines you want, and for standard alerts, this is really, really good because you just create all the video files once, you stick them in your media library, and then you just call them as needed. But I'm also working on something for non-standard alerts as well.
Pardon me, sir, but there is a vehicle approaching in the driveway. It appears to be a red Jeep Gladiator with one person inside of it.
So be sure to like and subscribe to see that video when that comes out in a few weeks. And until then, we'll see you next time. Well, Albert's gonna go and Albert, Bernard, damn it.